Yo, YouTube, what up? So, it's Friday. Well, it's Friday right now. For me, it may be Saturday by the time I upload this. Tried to do a live stream, but I got an error. It said YouTube does not allow my channel to do some kind of live stream. I don't know. Probably because I haven't been on here a year or something, and I don't have enough viewers or hours viewed or something like that, I'm guessing. But, it's Friday night. I'm just going to feed all my animals here. Start off with the fish and feed some of the dark frogs, let y'all see those. Well, I guess technically start off with the corals. So as you may notice, since my last video, there used to be an 80-gallon tank here. The 80-gallon Planet Aquariums tank. And now I've got a 40-gallon cube. Let me mix this stuff up real quick. Oh no, I always do this. I always drop my little mix-in shish kebab. But yeah, a lot of things have changed in the last year or two on that 80-gallon tank. As some of you may know, I was using Triton, and this was back when Triton had all their issues and they couldn't keep their 4-part in stock, so my tank crashed. Tell Apex Fusion to turn on feed cycle A.
Starting feed cycle A.
Yeah, I love it. So this is my coral feeder. It's I think it's Kent's or Kent Marine, something like that. So let me make sure this thing is on the right spectrum there. Yeah, let me change this a little bit. Give you guys a better view here. There you go. Yeah, I think I got it off Amazon for like $15 or something like that. Definitely well worth it. And this thing extends up to, shoot, like, I think this is, I don't know, it extends up pretty far. It extends twice the amount of this. So whatever that is. I don't know, 3-4 foot, something like that. Pretty damn crazy. Let's see here, what else? Oh, gotta feed the, it's kind of a bad shot where y'all at, but this is Starburst? Yeah, I think it's Starburst Monty. Got a green Slimer and then just a normal red Monty. Ooh, my Dendro's not open. He's normally open and happy. He may have already started getting some food. One thing I can't keep in here is acans. I've got this one right down here that I'm feeding right now, and it's pretty much dead. I mean, it's just holding on for dear life. But it's a tester piece, so I don't know. Something's wrong, I think, I guess. Let's feed the Euphilia. And the Zoes, even though they don't really react to it. Oh yeah, and these my Blastos. I've had these Blastos. I don't at least a good 2 years. I've had them in like 3 or 4 tanks. And they just keep going, keep growing too. They look so good. So good, so healthy. I got some more zoos up here. Some of them that I got, I'll try to show you some of these, but what do I got here? I've got some Hyper Jubilees, Laser Lemons. Man, I forget some of these. I got some Magicians, some Rainbow Infusion, Sunny D's. I've got, oh wow, holy crap, I didn't notice that. I've got, I don't even know how many pallets of some Promethazines, Joe's Crab Nebula, Utter Chaos, and then some Pink Hippos and a Nephthia. But on these Promethazines, I got a pretty good chunk of frag. Probably, I don't know, the last DFW Moss frag swap, my last video that I posted. And shoot, that's probably like 8 polyps. Oh, I gotta clean that. I don't want to put that there. Got like 8 polyps. Now, there's probably 10 polyps, and then I fragged it when I first got it because I wanted to sell it, get my money back. There's 5 polyps on this one, which originally it had 2 polyps. And the lights are just kicked back on. Okay, and we're back. And of course, when I went to the Radeon light setting, it stopped the video. But now, I just need to dump all this stuff in, get rid of it so I can feed the fish, because I know they're waiting to be fed. Alright. And so I'm feeding these guys LRS, the Hoosier Daddy blend, the Fertility Frenzy. I normally just dump it in there, but I'm gonna see if they'll eat it from the little turkey baster here, or baster. They may, I don't know. I know the clownfish may. Come here, dude. So I got a funny story here. So this clown you see right here, right under the feeder, or the anemone on the right hand side, he's been in this anemone for probably a good 2 months now, this rainbow anemone, and he will not let that other clownfish over there in it. And so a few days ago, I went to a buddy's house, and I said, dude, do you have another anemone? And I said, yeah, he had, I don't know, 4 or 5. And so I picked up another one. I think it's called Acid Rain anemone, which is right in the center. And literally within an hour, that other clownfish, wherever he's at, yeah, right there now, I don't know if you can see him, he was in it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, literally within an hour. It was so cool. Then the next day I noticed this guy, the one that owns this anemone, was trying to take over that anemone and guard his anemone. Or no, which one? No, that's a her. So yeah, her. See how he's kind of, or she's kind of going over there. She'll try to beat him up. Oh, they just kissed. Y'all see that? And there's people coming up the stairs. That's why I hate living in apartments. But yeah, she tried to take over both anemones there. And if you notice, wherever it went, I also got a filefish in here. He was just in here a little bit ago, or up here somewhere. I've had that guy, probably a couple of months or so. Maybe not that long, but I had a little problem with aptasia. It wasn't too bad, but I wanted to nip it in the butt before it got too bad. So I bought that guy, took a chance. I only had those zoas right here, 6 or 7, little frags, and I was like, they're cheap, and if the filefish eats it, then, oh well. is what it is. I really wanted to get rid of that aptasia, and so it's done a really good job of ridding the aptasia in my tank. I haven't seen any since I put that guy on there. I mean, it took probably a couple weeks, and then I didn't see any more aptasia in there. So let me hook you up to a tripod here, or maybe not even a tripod. What can I hook you up to? I want to give you a top down here, if I can do it. I've got some Fritz glasses on my lens because I'm cheap and I don't have the gel filter like everybody has. So let me see here. Let's put this on. There we go. See if I can show you these zoas here. They're insane. If they would focus. Yeah, those right there on the bottom left. I don't know what those are called. I don't remember. I know they're something simple. Yep, the pump just kicked on. Nothing's going to work right today for me. Oh, also I got a little polyp, or not a polyp, a little frag of bird's nest right there in the center. And look at this Recordia mushroom. It's like gold. It's pretty wild. There's these promethazines I'm telling you about up on the top there. Both of these frags. They're closed up a little bit because they just ate some reefroids. But yeah, everything's kind of closed up, sort of. Pink hippo, or bride of Chucky, or whatever you want to call it. And the udders, and that Nephthia. I can't wait till this thing grows out. I want to put it, I don't even know where I'm going to put it, but I've been wanting that forever. Oh, great. Tell Apex Fusion to start feed cycle A.
Starting feed cycle A.
Thank you. And you can see my cheap hammers and a little rainbow NAM. Nothing really fancy. I'm not really splurging, on corals this go around because I lost so much on the last tank crash there. And this guy is some kind of black torch with like neon green tips, as it hadn't really opened up too much yet. There's that acan that's struggling. It looks pretty cool that way, but it's just like a, like a red acan and with a little bit of green. And my one little piece of frog spawn. And there's that Monty cap. I actually got this from a buddy, Bees Reef. You can catch him on YouTube and check his channel out. He's got a lot of nice coral and content on his channel. I helped him move his old tank. I believe it was a 265-gallon tank. Moved all the stuff out, and he got himself a new 100-gallon tank. And he gave me this as payment. It looks like crap here, but it's slowly starting to rebound. And then that red Monty cap there, it's slowly starting to rebound too. I have hell with Monties. I don't know why. Just every single tank I've ever owned, I can never keep a Monty. And then of course my green Slimer. I tried to glue it down right there to, because with my pump it kept rocking back and forth and turning over and this and that, and ended up in the Monty. And so I tried to glue it the other day, and I guess I glued the wrong side by mistake, and parts of it died. So I think I'm just gonna chop off the the bottom side and the top side, make a couple little frags, and leave the middle piece and just see what happens there. If it dies, it dies. I'll have two kind of healthy frags from it. So, and there's my channel mascot, the Dendrophilia. And there's that Blasto. Thing's incredible. Yep, that's all I got in the tank so far. Let's turn this down a bit. Here we go. That's a lot better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Every time I tap my phone to focus on a coral, it the, I don't know what you call it, I guess the spectrum or the brightness or the white balance changes. But it doesn't allow me to focus on a coral, so it makes the white balance a lot brighter. But there's another small overview here of everything in the tank. So let me go ahead and cancel. Oh, that's super bright now. Cancel, I said. And there we go. There's my little Apex board. Nothing too fancy. And it's dark, but you can kind of get the gist of things down there. Got a Bulbomagus Curve 5 skimmer. I do have some Chaeto in there, but I think it's slowly dying. And got the Kessel H380 for the Fuge light. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, for the Refugium light, and then a AI Prime, just a standard one, for my sump light, just so I can see. So, I'm dosing the Bark Reef Supply 2-part pharma, alkalinity, calcium, magnesium. I just mixed this up the other day, and I'm starting to dose 10 mils daily, just depending on the test kit that I test every day. Some tahine, however you pronounce this stuff. Man, this stuff is so freaking good. But yeah, I'm not dosing it in the tank, obviously, but that stuff is good. The Red Sea Trace 4-part ABCD. I'm doing 1 mil of each. Every time I dose 10 mils of... No, sorry. Yeah, so 10 mils. So every 2 days I dose 1 mil of this each from each bottle. Coral Amino, I'm doing 1 mil daily. Microbacter 7, I'm doing 5 mils daily. Or not 5 mils, 5 pumps, sorry. I don't know how much it is, but it's like 5 pumps. And I just got Chaeto Grow in today, actually. My Chaeto's been like just disintegrating, so I'm gonna try this and see if I can add some of the nutrients the Chaeto needs to grow and export my nutrients. So that's what we're dosing here, pretty much daily or every other day. Now I'm gonna take you to the other fish and let's feed them real quick and disregard my dirty carpet floor. Got the cat and he likes to puke. And there's my tripod here. I have to take this one little deal off here. We'll get to these things right here in a second. Some dirt with some carrots. Sorry y'all, I'm taking this little tripod mount on so I can mount it to my other tripod here, or my little handheld one. Whoa. Alright. So this is my broodstock tank. I need to do clean the bottom of the tank there. As you can see, it's a little dirty. It's got quite a bit of detritus in there. So let's go ahead and feed these guys. So for the first one I feed New Life Spectrum pellets. And these are my Ocellaris Clownfish, my very first saltwater fish I ever had back in like May of 2016 or something like that. My very first fish. They were tiny little things. I mean, tiny. And I got them from a local breeder here in Grand Prairie, Texas. The second ones that I feed is Formula 1 pellets. For those guys over here. These guys are my snow cassos. I got these from a breeder on Facebook. His name is JC Rizzo. Got some really nice fish. I'll get a close up here in a minute. I just want to get these all fed. And then last, these are my Mocha Vinci that I got from another local guy, local vendor named the Reef Lagoon on Facebook. And these guys get fed TDO. I'm not exactly sure if it's the C1. I'm not sure what size this is, but I just got it in this little container here. These guys go crazy for some food. They're absolutely nuts and just incredibly colored up. I want to show you something here with these guys. So if you see how these guys, see the orange kind of color these guys are. Now look at these guys. I'm sure it's just part of their, well, they're going too fast, you can't even see it. It's just a different orange. It's so much brighter. And, you know, the guys on the right, you know, are fed TDO. And I wonder if that has something to do with it. I'm sure it does. I wish they'd stay still so I can show you, but they're not going to stay still. But they are Mocha Da Vinci, so that could have something to do with it too. And there's the snow cussos. Trying to get a good shot here, but these guys are just absolutely shy. Get a little bit of blue to them. Alright. And then last but not least, if I can open up this fish food here. Sorry for the camera shake. I've got these guys. I think these, I don't know exactly what these are. I think Darwin's. I got these from a friend. She was buying a house and the guy just left a couple fish tanks and left these guys behind. She's like, dude, like, can you help me with this? You know, she don't know what to do. She wanted to keep them, but, you know, I explained to her what all she needed to do. And, you know, she raises chinchillas, and she just didn't have enough time to, you know, to raise fish, and, you know, especially saltwater fish. And so, you know, I took them off her hands for her. They're in QT, and they are available if anybody wants them. But now, let's get to making some fly, or not fly food, but some frog food. So now we're going to feed the poison dart frogs. Alright, so poison dart frogs. I've got, ooh, how many do I have? I've got 8 adult poison dart frogs and 4 little froglets, which are the juveniles. And then I think I've got, last count, I think it was like 11 or 12 tadpoles. Oh no. So, everybody has to eat. And this is pretty much daily to every other day. And these are just the supplements that you have to use whenever you're using flies to feed them, which that's all they eat is flies. A couple other insects, but we won't get into that. These are pretty much just vitamins, and this is calcium for them. We'll set this over here. And right there's what the fly cultures look like. It seems pretty nasty, but it's actually pretty clean. And I've got more fly cultures in here. I've got to see which ones have a lot of flies in them. And they're not just your standard house fly, they're fruit flies. Whoa. Yeah, so here we go. That'd be a good one. It looks pretty nasty. It looks a lot nastier than it is. And so what we have to do is we have to separate them from this. So I just kind of tap them on their side and shake them into this little cup that has their supplements in there. It's kind of an art, honestly, to get these out and do it quickly. Usually don't have to do it for this long, but there's not many flies left in here, so I'm trying to get all of them out. I'll just set that guy to the side because I need to get another one. Alrighty, let's do this one here. So now, you can't just feed them in this powder stuff. You have to mix it all up so it coats all the flies. And then I put them in a clean cup. So I'm pretty much taking all the dust off and leaving just the flies. Well, the flies are coated in the dust, or the supplements. But you don't want to put just straight dust in their tank, or powder. Alright, let's go feed the frogs. And here's a look at it. It looks pretty gross, I know, but it's not that bad. Set you up over here. Well, maybe. There we go. If you look right there, you'll see the frogs come out because they're pretty much right here. They are absolute hogs too, man. They love to eat. I'll get a close up on them here in a minute. I gotta shut their little vivarium so they don't all hop out. I've got 2 in there and I've got 4 in here, and they're both different. And then 2 back behind me. Okay, so let me show you here. These guys are called Dendrobates leucomelis, and they're a variety, or I guess whatever you call it, is called fine spot. So they're fine spot Dendrobates leucomelis. And these guys originate, where do they originate from? I think it's Venezuela, Colombia kind of area. There's these guys. These guys are not shy at all. This one that's out of the hut here, little cocoa hut, that's a female. And that one is the male. And these are actually a breeding pair, and they've produced 16 or 17 clutches so far of tadpoles, or eggs. And each time they produce about 4 to 5 eggs. And it takes about 3 months for the eggs to turn into frogs, little froglets. And these guys here are called yellow Phyllobates terribilis. And yeah, these are originated, they're in Colombia. And a really cool thing about these guys is these are the most deadliest amphibians or dart frogs in the world. But they're not poisonous in captivity. So in all my animals, they're all captive bred, so I don't want to, have any wild caught animals. But these guys are pretty cool too. They're just going about their day, happily eating. And here's their vivarium. Some of these plants are absolutely ridiculously expensive. Well, I guess not too much, but they're kind of like frags, you know. Some of them are expensive, some of them are cheap. The one on the top left there, those are called Markgravia, and about 7 or 8 leaves go for about, I don't know, 10 to 15, 20 bucks. And all the other plants are not that expensive. And these guys, they make a cool chirping sound at night whenever they're in their breeding season, or their breeding mode. And I'm going to show you this other vivarium real quick. There's the frogs eating still. And I've got these cocoa huts in here. There's a petri dish in here with a little bit of water. And they lay their eggs on that. And let's see if we got any eggs by chance. I don't see any eggs in that one. Try it, dude. Nope, no eggs on that one. Look at that. She don't even care. She's very chill. You gotta watch out for the male though, because he's a little spooky. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you the vivarium. It's a little under construction right now. These plants on the back left are called Bromeliads. This guy right in the center in the pot is a pitcher plant. It's dying, but it's okay. I mean, just the little pitcher is actually dying. You know, it's still healthy. I got another pitcher plant there. This guy is was it a bronze Venus fern or something like that? And then in the way back there in the corner, I've got more Markgravia. And then I've got another plant in the back against the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but that's called a rattlesnake plant. And last but not least, got these guys. These are Dendrobates Tinctoria Skovox. I'm not exactly sure where they originate from or come from, but these are also a breeding pair. So let's check out some tadpoles and some froglets. Alrighty guys, so here are the froglets. He is on the left hand corner there. He's a little tiny thing. I mean, he is, you know, he's super tiny. Yeah, I can't really get in a picture there, but you can kind of see my thumb or my pinky. You can see how big he is. He's super tiny. Where is he? Oh, there he is, right there on the left again. There's another one. Obviously, you can see that guy. He's a little chunkier. And then right there on the bottom. So I'm going to feed these guys a little bit of leftover flies here. Where's he at? There he is. We don't need too much. I keep these guys in these little containers for about a month until they kind of, you know, get strong and get big enough. Then I'll put them in a 10-gallon container, just a, you know, the normal Aqueon container. Because they're our brothers and sisters, so that doesn't necessarily mean they get along that well. They will fight somewhat. Not necessarily fight, but they're kind of aggressive towards each other. Whenever one's determined as the weakest one, they'll pretty much bully it and almost to the death. I've had that happen on a couple occasions, and so I raise them up, let them get strong. Then I'll put them together and just kind of watch them. And as you can see already, here's some tadpoles. And these are all from the first set of frogs that I showed you, the Leucomelis. You can see on this guy here, he has some back legs. as well as this guy. It may not be that clear because their water is pretty dark, but yeah, this guy you should be able to definitely tell. He's got like some bumps on the back of his body, and that's his legs. These are some younger ones here. Some younger tadpoles. And these guys, these are called Springtails. They're little tiny bugs, you know, cleanup crew that you put inside the vivarium so that they eat the dart frog poop. And that way you never have to, you know, change their tank up. These guys are called isopods, as you can see, and they are more related to a crustacean versus a bug. Let me see if I can find a good one. And what they are the roly-polies. These are an orange variety called powder orange. And they love to eat carrots. I don't see, oh yeah, I think they're, I don't know where they're at. Oh, there you go. They're like little roaches kind of, but they're just roly-polies. And these also eat mold and frog poop. These guys, if you can see right there, these look like your typical roly-polies. I'm not exactly sure the scientific name, but these are just called zebra isopods. These guys are huge. They aren't alive, they're just comfortable, I guess. Oh, they're over there in the corner, you can't really see them, but yeah. That's pretty much it for the dart frogs and the fish. I hope you enjoyed it. A little tour here. And they're just chilling. Look at them. So yeah, I will talk to you guys next time.